this is Jackie Stevens. Welcome to morning yoga and relaxation. We will be practicing a little bit of meditation and breathing, then moving into some gentle hatha and some relaxing poses at the end. You don't need a lot of props, but it's helpful to have a couple of blankets and maybe a couple of pillows nearby. And thank you for joining me. Namaste. So let's go ahead and take a seat and make yourself comfortable. We will be sitting for a few minutes, so make sure that you're sitting on the edge of a blanket or a bolster or a pillow. I have a little meditation cushion that's been getting a lot of use during this time. And then make sure that your legs are in a position that you can maintain for a few minutes. So they can either be straight out in front of you, crisscross applesauce, half lotus, easy seat, whatever is comfortable and stable. If we don't feel stable, then it's very hard for us to relax and focus. So once you come to your comfortable, stable seat, go ahead and close the eyes. Allow the hips to grow very heavy, the spine to grow tall out of the hips. The head is balancing over the shoulders and the shoulders are balancing over the hips. So make sure you're in that nice straight line with a straight, long, strong spine. And with the eyes closed or the lids heavy and the eyes unfocused, go ahead and begin to check out your breath. You don't have to alter your breath just yet. If you have, that's fine. Sometimes it's an automatic reflex with yoga. I know it can be for me. But just follow your breath without changing it, without deepening it yet. Feeling the cooler air come in the nostrils, the warmer air escaping. Just following the breath, noticing where it's going, if you're breathing into your chest or into your belly. And take an inventory of your body, noticing where you are carrying tension, where you feel tight, where you already feel a little loose and some openings. Just noticing what you physically brought to the mat with you. Let your arms be in a comfortable position. Sometimes it takes me a couple of tries before I get the right place. But you want your arms to be comfortable with your hands and elbows soft and your shoulders soft. And once you've checked in with the breath and the body, check in with the mind, noticing if there's anything weighing heavily, if it's just a bunch of thoughts flitting around, or if the mind has already begun to empty out and calm itself. And now begin to take control of your breath. Go ahead and begin that good 3-part breath. So the inhale will lift the belly, rounding it, and the exhale will draw the belly button back towards the spine. Breathing into the belly, allowing it to round, drawing the belly button back on the exhale. Take a few rounds breathing into the belly. And as you are ready, begin to draw the breath up into the ribs. So you're breathing into the belly and the ribs. And with the exhale, the ribs relax down, and we draw the belly button back with some intention. And we breathe in this manner for a few more rounds. And as you breathe deeper into the ribs, you're going to begin to invoke some of the nerves that will call on our parasympathetic nervous system, that will calm the mind and allow the breath to grow even deeper. And you'll find that you're making space, that the breath will come with more ease, so that eventually the inhale will expand the belly, press the ribs away, and draw the breath up towards the collarbones. And with the exhale, the chest releases down, the ribs draw together, and we draw the belly button back with some effort. Because we are going to go into gentle hatha, I have you use a little bit of effort on the exhale, because you're going to be using your core a little bit. And one of the best ways to wake up your core is with the deeper breath. But before we get there, let your body grow even heavier as your breath becomes more rhythmical and easier. Allow the spine to lengthen and allow more space to come into your torso so that the organs are beginning to relax. Feel the stillness in your body from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands. Noticing where you might feel uncomfortable or tight. Noticing where you feel strong and open. And noticing, especially now that the breath is growing deeper, noticing where you might need to draw some attention during your practice. You can stay still. You are safe. You are comfortable. There's no reason to move right now. How deeply can you let go? As you grow heavier and more relaxed, notice if you have any misplaced or frantic energy remaining in your body. And if you do, of course, there's no judgment. There's no self-judgment at all. You simply notice where this energy is. You respect the fact that it's still there, and then you release it as best you can. Spend a few moments releasing anything you don't need, whether it's any misplaced energy. Perhaps there's still some tension in the shoulders. Let go of anything you don't need. As you sit, allow the breath to flow smoothly the body to grow heavier and heavier, releasing anything you don't need for your practice this morning. The hips settle, the legs grow heavy against the floor, while the crown of the head continues to stretch towards the sky. The spine and the sides grow long. Releasing the meditation slowly, focusing on the breath again. If you have on glasses, go ahead and take them off. Rub your hands together vigorously. And when they feel plenty warm, bring the heels of the hands to the bones under your eyeballs and cup your hands over your eyes, bringing your fingers on your foreheads or on your eyebrows, depending on your anatomy. And lean the head into the hands, allowing the warmth to move into the eyes, the eyeballs, the eye sockets, all the little muscles around the eyes. And as the hands grow cooler, let's do the rubbing together one more time. And then placing the hands over the eyes, leaning the head into the hands. Following that deep, easy, rhythmical breath. Good. And as your hands grow colder again, release the arms down. And just open the eyes as much as you need to make your way onto the floor, onto your back. So if you are sitting on anything, move it aside. Make your way onto your back with as little effort as possible, laying down with your knees pointing up, your feet about hip width apart, arms down along at your sides, and tuck the chin in gently so that instead of pointing up towards the ceiling, the chin is more pointing towards your thighs or knees. Pause here and rest, noticing how the breath feels. Finding our 3-part breath again, breathing deeply. Good. Remember how comfortable and heavy you are. Feeling the back of the body growing heavier onto the floor, but respecting the curves of your natural back. So you're not pressing the back into the floor. And with everything in place, on an inhale, you're going to lift your left arm up and allow your head to roll to the right. And as you exhale, lower the left arm and bring the head to center. Now inhale, raise your right arm, let the head roll to the left. Exhale, head to center, lowering the right arm down. Inhale, lifting the left arm, head rolls to the right. Exhale, head to center, lowering the left arm. Inhale, right arm lifts, head rolls to the left. Exhale, release the arm down, head rolls to center. Take 3 more sets of these. So that's both arms. Starting with the left arm, rolling the head to the right, exactly. Exhale, lowering. Good. As you are working with these more, let the breath start the movement. Not the movement starting the breath. The breath begins the movement and ends the movement. Good. And before we start to lift that arm, we try to stretch it towards the feet a little bit, just so that the shoulder stays in place and does not move up towards your arm. And then when you have completed the right arm and exhaled it down, good. Meet me at the center. And you're set up for your bridge. The only thing that we're going to do differently is we're going to clasp our hands over our chest with the elbows bent. If you need to look up at me, I'm laying in bridge. My hands are clasped over my chest with my elbows bent. And what's going to happen is as we inhale, we're going to straighten the arms and lift the hips into our bridge. And as we exhale, we bend the elbows and lower the hips down. So set up for your bridge. Make sure your chin is pointing in towards the chest. Press into the feet and inhale, lifting the hips, stretching the arms straight. Exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time as you bend the elbows. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Take 5 more of these. Pressing into the feet as much as possible, moving as slowly as you can. What you're going to feel, and I'm going to sit up and watch you part of the time. So what you're going to feel is, as you're lifting up, you're going to feel that stretch in the neck and upper back. This helps spread the shoulder blades and helps massage in between as you're lowering each vertebrae. So that's why it's important to move slowly. And let's take a couple more of these because they're really good for your upper back. And what we're going to do is the gentle hatha practice is geared towards your upper back and neck today. A lot of us have chronic neck and shoulder problems, whether it's a result of an injury or repetitive use. So we're going to work on that a little bit this morning. So once you finish this last one, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a good squeeze in. Lift the forehead up towards the knees. Cross your right ankle over your left, reaching for your ankles or your shins. And then release down. So you draw the knees in. It's like you collapse like a collapsible cup. Take 5 deep breaths here, opening our hips. Good. Couple more deep breaths. And release. Inhale the legs up in the air. And take a couple breaths in place. On an exhale, knees to chest. Inhale the forehead up. Cross the left ankle over the right, reaching for whatever you can reach for that's going to be comfortable. And then releasing the head down, drawing the knees in, feeling the hips release. Breathing deeply here, making sure that you're squeezing in as much as you can and that you're letting the breath help you get deeper into the hip openings. And let's go ahead and release. Stretch the legs up in the air. Bring the arms down alongside of you. And again, tuck the chin in gently so that the front of the neck and the back of the neck are about the same length. Inhale, and as you exhale, let the knees fall into the chest. Inhale, stretch the legs up, stretch the arms up and back. Exhale, knees to chest, arms down. Inhale, stretch the legs up, lift the arms up and back. Exhale, knees to chest, arms down. Inhale, stretching up and back. Exhale, knees to chest, arms down. Take 4 or 5 more of these. So again, you want to be careful about lifting the arms so that you make sure that the shoulders more or less stay in their place. And you can feel the massage there, as well as some lengthening and strengthening around the shoulders. Good. Let's just take one more, knees in. And then stretch the legs up. Slowly lower the right leg down to the mat. And then draw the left knee in towards the shoulder. So bending the left knee, pressing out through both feet. Your right hamstring and calf are very heavy and acting like an anchor, so that you can stretch that left knee up towards the left shoulder. And you can get a little oppositional stretch from the right foot to the left knee. Breathe deeply here. And when you're ready, let your hands slip to your left hamstring and inhale, stretch that leg up as straight as it's willing to go. Press out through both heels. Keep that left knee a little bit soft. You want to feel the stretch at the back of the left leg without hurting yourself. You always want to be respectful of discomfort and very respectful of pain. So if you feel any pain, back off. Breathe deeply here. And what you can do also is exhale and soften that left knee gently. Inhale, stretch it up. That can help get into the hamstring. Just make sure you do it nice and slowly. Good. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, lower the left leg to meet the right. And then pause for the inhale. On the exhale, draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Left leg is heavy on the mat. Both feet are active. And you keep drawing that left knee in and up. Both feet stay active. We breathe deeply, remembering that it's going to feel different from side to side. And as you're ready, bring your hands behind the right hamstring, stretch the right leg up. Make sure both hips are heavy on the floor. The left leg is heavy. You can feel the contact points at the back of the heel, the back of the calf, and the back of the hamstring. Good. Keep breathing and stretching up. And if you'd like to, you can exhale, soften the right knee. Inhale, stretch it up. always being cautious. And because of all of my back issues, I really have to investigate my hamstrings before I can practice. So investigate them. See what they're up to, what they think they want to do today. And then stretch the leg up straight. Slowly lower it down. Draw both knees into the chest. And give yourself a good hug in. And then it's up to you if you would like to take a nice rock and come up to cat-cow, or if you'd like to roll off to your side, whatever's available for you. And then take a few cat-cows. Bring the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the chest. Inhale, stretch the spine long. Exhale, round it up. Breathing, taking several cat-cows slowly. And then as you're ready, if you'd like to bring an extra movement in, maybe you want to move the hips a little bit or move around in circles. Maybe you want to drop the chin. Whatever little extra movements you would like to take, go ahead and take them. Good, and then meet me back at center. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Stretch the right leg back. And then step it forward, coming into a lunge. Get padding for underneath your knee if you need it. Bend into the right leg. And stretch that left leg back. Get into a nice low lunge. Good. And then we're going to take both hands to the inside of the right foot. Keep for the moment this right knee upright, and actually let the right knee press into your right upper arm, being strong and mindful. Breathing deeply. Good. If it feels available to you and you'd like to move your right foot out towards the edge of the mat, and then you can either come down onto your elbows. If you have blocks or books that you would like to use to bring the floor up to you, you can certainly do that. And then let that right knee bend out to the right. Remember your good deep breath. Find the breath. Definitely bring the floor up to you. And make sure that back leg is strong. The spine and the body just relax down and in. Good. Go ahead and walk your foot in and bring your hands to the floor, propping yourself back up. Bring your hands so that they're framing out your right foot. And then you can either take yourself back to a down dog or back to tabletop, whichever you think you would get more benefit from. If you pop up to down dog, pace out your legs. Good. Come up high on the balls of the feet, stretching the feet. And then bringing the feet towards the floor. Bring the knees to the floor. On an inhale, stretch the left leg back. and then step it forward. Set yourself up for your lunge. You know where you're going now. So walk that right knee back, pad it up if you need to. And when you're ready, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. And to start, keep the knee upright and press the knee into the upper arm. That helps set up your hips. And when you feel ready, walk the left foot out to the outer edge of the mat. And then come down to your elbows if it's available, letting the left knee open out and breathing deeply. Finding that good deep breath. Good. Finding the rhythmical breath. And then go ahead and walk the foot in, framing out the foot with the hands, and pause for a moment. And make your way up to your down dog or tabletop, whichever is more available to you. Pace out the legs or move the legs around. Good. Come up on the balls of your feet if you're in tabletop, if you're in down dog, sorry. And then slowly lower the heels to the floor. Keep the knees soft. Inhale your way to tabletop. And go ahead and stretch your right leg back again. Keep your hips facing the mat so they're level. And then step the right foot between the hands. You are going to move your back leg a little bit. You're going to move the calf so that the calf lines up. It makes like a T with your front foot. So if you need to see me, what I've done is I've taken the back leg, I've bent the knee, and just swung it around so that my right foot is kind of at the edge of the left side of the mat. And then we come up to warrior two arms. So, ooh, it's weird to be able to see myself. Well, most of myself anyway. So, we have that opportunity to balance off our arms. Wow, that does not feel like that should be balanced. Stretch the arms away from the heart and let your gaze come over your right fingertips. Opening the chest, breathing deeply. Make sure you're stepping well into that front foot. Bring the knee a little, just a little more over the ankle. Good. And good deep breathing. We are going to now bring our right arm to our right thigh. Inhale the left arm up and over. I hope that feels good, Mickey. Good, okay. Good. If you do have any questions, I still have your audio on so I can hear you if anything comes up. Breathe in, and hopefully next time I'll know how to fix this. Breathe into your left ribs. Let them really open up. And then when you're ready, stretch your way back. Swing your arms down and swing your leg back to the way it was. And come back to our down dog. Stretching out the legs. Ooh, that feels really good right now. Pace them out. Even pick up the leg and stretch it a little bit if you're able to do that. Whatever feels right for you. What feels right for you is going to be different than what feels right for me, although it all feels good this morning. And come up on the balls of the feet, stretching the feet up high. Lowering the heels to the floor, coming back to our hands and knees, and then stretching our left foot. That's the one. Stretching the left leg back. Make sure the hips are even. And then step that left foot in between the hands. Swing the bottom part of the right leg over so that your right foot is towards the left side of the mat. And then inhale up to your warrior two arms. Good. Perfect. Stretch the arms so that they're stretching out evenly from the heart, breathing deeply, gaze over the left fingertips. And as you're ready, exhale, bending the elbow, bringing the left forearm to the left thigh, stretching the right arm up and over, and breathing into those right ribs. Now this is nice because it gives us the opportunity to feel, pay attention to your left shoulder for a moment and notice if it's collapsing, where your shoulder is. Make sure that you have an appropriate amount of weight on that left forearm, that you're not really leaning into it. And in fact, it's just there holding space. Good. Inhale up to our warrior two arms. Exhale the hands to the floor and swing the leg back. And come up to our down dog one last time. Pacing out your legs. Good. As you're ready, make your way down to the floor and come all the way down. So we're going to come to lying on our bellies. And make a pillow with your hands. Let your big toes touch to start, and just lay here comfortably. Breathe deeply, let the legs relax back. Good. And then go ahead and bend your knees so your feet are in the air, and then wave the feet back and forth. Slowly, always moving slowly. Good. Go ahead and release your feet down to the floor. We're going to start to slow down the practice a little bit, so we're going to move into our half frog. So bring your arms into a cactus or field goal position, however you think of it. Turn your head to face the right, so you're resting on your left ear. And then go ahead and bend the right knee. The knee stays on the floor, the entire right leg stays on the floor, and it's at a right angle from your body. And you're just pressing out through that right foot a little bit. You don't have to have real effort there, but you would like it to have the shape as though you're laying down, or as though you're standing on the floor. Good. Find that good deep breath again. Make sure both arms are in cactus. Yep. And you can put a pillow or a blanket underneath that right knee if it's not comfortable on the floor. Breathing deeply and letting that right hip relax. Finding the space, going back to that feeling of growing heavier and heavier. We are being mindful of our body, mindful of our practice. And as we slow down, if it helps to use a mantra, the one I've been using this weekend is, right here, right now, everything is okay. Right here, right now, everything is okay. Let everything settle heavily on the floor. Let everything release and relax. Right here, right now, everything is okay. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Allow the breath to bring your focus back to the mat. And as you're ready, straighten the right leg on the mat. Bring the head back to center. And wobble the hips gently on the mat, like you're floating on a raft in the ocean. But very gentle, gentle movements. We want to have as little disruption to our breathing and our comfort as possible. So when you're ready, bring the arms back into your cactus, your field goal. Turn the head to face the left, and then gently bend that left knee. Bending the left knee, setting a blanket or a pillow underneath the knee itself if you need something softer than your floor. Finding that good deep breath again. The eyes are either closed or they're very heavy. All the soft tissue around the eyes, all the little muscles are relaxed. The eyes are resting heavily in the sockets. The jaws are relaxed, the neck is relaxed. And the breather, the deeper you breathe, the more you relax. When you are in that deep, rhythmical, easy breath, the body grows heavier and heavier and heavier. You can feel the stillness in the body. You can feel that hip, the left hip, opening and growing heavier, releasing towards the floor. And if there is anything left that does not belong, we release it now. Let go of anything that you do not need as the body grows heavier and heavier. And as you release and relax more and more, inhale deeply and exhale completely. Follow the breath, and as you come back to your mat, let your head come back to center and straighten your left leg down alongside the right. And pause for a moment before taking any little movements, whether it feels good to maybe bend the knees and wave the legs in the air, or maybe it feels good to wobble the legs on the hips on the floor. Maybe it feels good to lay there in complete stillness. And then we're going to go ahead and come up to a sphinx that we're going to hold like a restorative or yin sphinx. So I have an Aunt Joyce who crochets, and I found these crochet blankets work so well as yoga props because you can make them into like different sizes and heights and whatnot. So what I've done is I've turned it into a little bit of a bolster, and I'm going to put it right under my chest with my arms, the forearms out in front of me, balancing me. because I do have some spine issues, I'm going to bring my elbows out in front of my shoulders just a little bit. And then of course I check by reaching for either elbow to make sure that I am at the right width. Bringing the hands to the floor, spread the fingers wide. Now know that most of your weight is going to be between your elbow and your wrist on your forearm and on your hands. And that's what we want. Let the spine soften, let the shoulders, wow, my shoulders don't really want to relax down, but if you can get yours to, let them. Draw the shoulder blades gently towards one another. And to begin, let your gaze stay kind of at the mat or between your fingers. Pause here and breathe. Now find any place that needs to soften, especially in your mid to low back area. Find any place that needs to soften and breathe there. Find the heaviness. You can also take your legs a little ways apart. That will relieve stress on the low back. And we're going to do a little bit of neck release, but we're going to make sure that we're still keeping the rest of our spine strong. So let everything grow nice and heavy and as soft as possible. And then with an exhale, just let the chin fall to the chest. So we're not rounding the back or making any additional movements. We're just stopping the energy at the top of the spine by drawing the chin into the chest. So keep the spine strong. And then maybe move gently from side to side if it feels good. Keeping the chin tucked in, you'll feel a little bit of a stretch at the back of your neck. Keep moving gently, remembering to respect any pain, discomfort. Well, we work with that a little bit. If it turns into pain, we back off immediately. And bring your head back to center as you're ready. Inhale, lifting the chin back to neutral, so we're in our normal Sphinx. Go ahead and press yourself up to tabletop. And then exhale, draw the hips back to the heels and release down into your child's pose. So you can bring the floor up to the forehead if you need to stack the hands on one another, make fists and stack hands. You can bring your knees apart. You can bring your forehead to the floor. You can bring a blanket under between your hips and your heels. Breathe deeply here. Feel the back pressing away from the front of the body on the inhale. And on the exhale, everything softens together. Inhale, breathe, press the kidney area up and away from the front of the body. Exhale, everything grows heavier, softer, and more relaxed. Good. And we are going to slowly make our way to our backs. So however that works for you, you know what, let's take a couple of cat-cows first, just really super gentle ones. But before we go on to our backs, let's just take a couple of slow, gentle movements. And then, as you're ready, make your way to your back. And once you get there, for this next one, you will not need any props at all. So just a clear mat and a little bit of space. We're going to move into Banana Asana and stretch our sides a little bit more. So go ahead and take your right leg and walk it over towards the right corner of your mat. And then walk the left leg over in that direction. So let the legs stay together and they're towards the right corner of your mat. Your left hip stays heavy. And we start to wiggle our shoulders over to the right also. Now, if you have any kind of neck or shoulder problems, you might just want to lay with your hands on your belly. If you can, I suggest raising the arms over the head, so making like a circle around the head, and reaching for your left wrist with your right hand. Keep both elbows bent. And then let your head roll gently to the right if that's available to you. And then if you lift that left leg and cross the ankle over the right ankle, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in that left side. You can also cross the right ankle over the left. You still get a stretch, it's just not as deep. Make sure that your arms are comfortable. If you have any numbness, tingling, anything that feels inappropriate, then change the shape of your arms. You can also cross your arms over your chest and reach for either shoulder. So you have options. Make sure that the options make you comfortable. And then find that good, deep, 3-part breath again. And breathe into that left side of your body. I like to describe the ribs as an old-fashioned fan, like the kind that they used in Gone with the Wind, so that when you exhale, it's like you're closing up that fan. And when you inhale, it's like you're breathing it open. Exhale, ribs draw together. Inhale, open and spread like a fan. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Start off by releasing the legs, so whichever leg was crossed over the other, uncross. And then go ahead and bring your arms down alongside of you. And then slowly make your way back to center and take a stretch. From the tips of your toes to your fingertips, take that good long center stretch. And then setting up for the left side. Let's go ahead and walk the left foot over towards the left corner of the mat. Right leg goes with like they're one unit, so that means that right hip is very heavy into the floor. And then we go ahead and we move the shoulders over towards the left as well. And then whichever way you crossed your ankles last time, cross them this time. So if you had the top over the bottom or the bottom over the top, same thing. And then find a comfortable place for your arms, whether you're crossing your hands over your chest, making a circle around the head and reaching for the right wrist with the left hand. Let the head roll to the left. Maybe the arms are resting on the belly. Breathe deeply. Take a couple of breaths to make sure you are comfortable. And then completely relax into it. Find that good deep breath. And feel the body growing heavier and heavier, so that when you breathe into the ribs and you feel them expanding, the rest of the body is just heavy. Releasing anything that you do not need. Start off by releasing the feet and then releasing the arms. Head back to center. Everything moves back to center. And take a nice long stretch from fingertips to toes. Give yourself a nice big squeeze in. And then go ahead and set your feet on the floor. And begin to set up for your Shavasana. So if you would like any kind of pillow underneath your head, perhaps something, I like to actually roll up a blanket and put it under my neck so that I have a little bit of support there. And draw the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe place something under the thighs or the knees for support. Let your arms and legs move away from one another. We did a good amount of hip and low back and a good amount of upper back and neck. So we want to take up space and let those joints open up and relax. You can place something over your eyes. My blood pressure always goes down as I get into Shavasana, so I get chilly. So it's nice to have a blanket or a hoodie nearby. Follow the breath. Let the breath continue in that good 3-part deep breath for a few moments. going to finish with a body scan to take us into a nice deep Shavasana. Letting the body grow heavier and heavier. Everything is relaxed. You feel heavy enough that it feels as though you're making an imprint on the floor. And you can release any effort with your breath and just allow it to go to its natural place. And when I name a part of your body, I'd like you to bring your focus to that part of the body. This will move quickly. So you'll just bring your focus to the part of the body for a moment and then move on to the next. On your next inhale, bring your focus to your right hand. Bring your focus to your right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, right armpit, right waist. Bring your focus to your right hip, your right thigh, your right knee, right calf, right ankle, right foot. Bring your focus to your left hand, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder. Bring your focus to your left armpit, left waist, left hip, left thigh, left knee, left calf, left ankle, left foot. Bring your focus to the top of your head and release. You are still. There is no need for any movement. You grow heavier and heavier as the mind and the body and breath relax more and more. You allow the skin to rest against the floor, the muscles to rest against the skin, the bones to rest against the muscles, and you let go. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Focus at the breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. The cool air inhaling, the warmer air exhaling. And as you begin to come back to your mat, notice if the body is requesting any movement. With as much heaviness work as we've been doing, it's possible that the body just wants to lay there comfortably. And if that's the case, lay here as long as you can. But if you feel a little bit of movement is a good idea, wiggle the fingers and toes, turn the head gently from side to side. And if you'd like to take any kind of nice long stretch, go ahead. And as I said, you can lay there in relaxation if you'd like, or you can make your way up to a seated position. Drawing the hands together at heart center, pressing the thumb gently against the heart, letting the forehead bow towards the fingertips. As we take this moment to check in with the mind, the body, and the breath, so that you can see the differences from where you started this morning and the gifts that your practice gave you through your breath, through your meditation, through your movement. The calmer breath and mind you've created, the softness and the space you've created. And I always like to take a moment to thank the teachers who came before us, who laid the foundations of knowledge that we all follow. I thank the teachers who walk alongside of me and learn and teach along with me. And of course, I thank the teachers who will come later and continue all the knowledge. The bright and shining light that resides within me and guides me on a daily basis honors the bright and shining light within each of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.